Welcome to part 2, and we are continuing our scene analysis, comparing iconic scenes from Salem's Lot 79 to the 2004 adaptation. Let's dive right back into it. This scene is designed continuity-wise like the Vampire Ralphie one, but amped up in intensity. It's not a million miles away from Jaws, where the shark is in the water and the Jaws theme kicks in and it's all about the jeopardy and impending peril.
Open the window. Open the window, Mark. Open the window, Mark. Please.
All the sequences like this are super effective and memorable, where the feeling of threat and danger is palpable.
Let me in. It's okay, Mark. I'm your friend. He commands it. No, Mark.
Open the window. Come on, Mark. Open the window.
This version of the scene is one of the poorest by comparison. Awful effects, zero suspense. The kid actors are unconvincing. It's lazily shot.
Stop it. Get some help.
Mark. Open the window, Mark. It's not just me, Mark. He commands. It's not even cold out here. Open the window. Mark. Go away. Go away!
What do you want?
Come out and meet him, Mark. Come on. Open the window. Or I'll try another one.
I can't imagine any of these scenes staying with me if I'd watched them as a kid.
Oh, come on! It's a lot of things, but scary is not one of them.
Okay, come in.
I'll kill you, Petrie! I'm your mother!
Look at me! Now these two clips we have coming up make for a very interesting scene comparison. So after being bit at the cemetery, Mike Ryerson stays at Burke's house.
Mike.
Oh, Mr. Burke.
I started to feel sick. Can I have a drink?
You upset about the funeral?
I came back after everyone left. I waited around a long time, and that's when I must have started to get sick.
I remember a dream. Somebody out there. I let him in.
Mike, I want you to stay at my house tonight.
I saw my mother's eyes, which is pretty weird because she's dead. It It was a pretty crazy dream.
Come on, Mike, we get out of here. You can sleep in my guest room.
In the morning, they find him dead.
The window's open. It was closed and locked. I made sure of it.
It's blood. Single drop.
Mike? Look at his chest. Look at the bruise.
The next night, Burke hears a noise upstairs and finds an undead Mike in full vamp mode. Cue the 1979 version.
Look at me. Look at me, teacher.
This is played out as a full-on primal horror scene. If you walked in on this guy sitting in the dark, staring at you with those glowing eyes, ashen face, he's saying, "Look at me," I'd be out of there sharpish.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
It's also a great example of knowing when to utilise the scary music and when it's sometimes better just to let the horror on screen play out over silence.
No.
Mr. Burke. Mr. Burke.
The juxtaposition of this scene in the 2004 version, however, is nuts. Wildly different. I actually quite like it, even though the emphasis is on the emotional and sympathetic reaction of Mike's circumstances, of being a goddamn shit-sucking vampire.
You're a goddamn shit-sucking vampire. Oh, you wait till Mom finds out, buddy.
Rather than the visceral terror created in the original.
Mike. What happened to you?
Look at me. Mr. Burke. Look at me. I know why you invited me here.
I don't even mind the overtly gay connotations that run through the scene, giving the "look at me" phrase a totally different context.
Ha! Gay! Go away, Mike. I can feel the way you look at me. I revoke your invitation to this house. Mike, in the name of God Almighty, leave.
No. No. Get out. Get out. I revoke my invitation.
Who knew Jeffrey Lewis could be so frightening?
What? What are you saying, man? That it's all right to kill hippies?
Sleep like the dead, teacher.
No.
Wouldn't it be a relief to touch me just once? And I can touch you. Look at me.
Dad, Mike!
What happened to me?
Anyway, it's one of the few actually effective scenes in this version. Just not what you want from Salem's Lot.
Okay, knock that shit off.
You tell it, yes. You're a monster, a nightmare.
No, that can't be.
Go away, Mike. Go away.
next scene comparison is where Barlow finally comes out of the shadows and into the open.
Poor little boy. You can do nothing against the master.
James Mason is on hand to deliver the lines, and Barlow is just there to be a scary motherfucker.
Stop, holy man! You've cut the boy's throat. Back, holy man, back, shaman! Back, priest! What would you give for this miserable boy?
What do you ask?
The master wants you.
Hello? What?
Unfortunately, Rutger Hauer as Barlow does not have the same menace as Monster Barlow. And this scene doesn't pack much of a punch. It's a very underwhelming introduction for Barlow's vampire form.
Back away, shaman.
Let him go.
Piss off. You get out of the room and I'll save his life.
I have no idea what accent Rutger Hauer has here.
I don't know.
And the way he killed Mark Petrie's mother is dreadful. Even Jason couldn't get away with that body spin. Super unconvincing.
Why? What will you sacrifice? Your little cross? Throw it away. Throw it away. Meet me on even terms. Black against white.
Throw away your cross, face the master, your faith against his faith. Then do it. Run!
I think they're dead, Father.
Run! Now you're part of the bargain.
I'm a priest.
A priest. Throw away the cross. Face the master. Faith against faith.
Your faith against mine.
I trust you to let him go. Run, Mark.
Go on, run! Your turn, Father. Crucifix. Drop it.
You stay away from me. I'm a priest.
The demands of your church are impossible. It's all about sacrifice and no proof. Nothing to sink your teeth into. You're not ready to go to heaven. You know it. You'd welcome death. Instead, I'll have you serve. Life is such a precious gift. So have a drink on me, Father.
Bill. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake.
Bill! Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Bill!
Marjorie Glick comes back from the dead. This might be my favourite scene in Salem's Lot. Brilliantly suspenseful, and the first time Ben Mears actually comes face to face with a vampire. In this version anyway. David Soul is fantastic. I don't think I've seen anyone play terrified as good as he does in this scene.
I will fear no evil. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me.
Danny? Where are you, Danny, darling?
Any longer, this is useless. I gotta go find Susan. Oh my God.
Ralphie? Where are you, sweetheart?
This scene in the 2004 Salem's Lot, however, encapsulates everything wrong with this version.
No, God! No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Marge? You okay?
Bend her up. So look at her eyes.
You gotta hand it to Tobe Hopper. After so many hair-raising and memorable set pieces throughout the film, he still manages to outdo himself. A textbook example of how to do a scare scene right here. Phenomenal stuff.
Use the cross!
They've 100% constructed it to extract every ounce of suspense and horror from the scene. The music, the lighting, Marjorie Glick looking like a vampire from the Blade movies. The way she flies up and dissolves into the ceiling. A piss poor scene, and that's without even comparing it to the original. Unforgivable.
The sun's gone down.
Look at him!
And lastly, we have the final confrontation to stake Barlow. A fitting and satisfying conclusion. Every time Barlow appears on screen, and it's not that often, he is this horrific and ferocious presence. So it feels like a life or death battle in the end.
He looks like a regular guy. Could be someone's father.
Don't look at him. I said don't look at him.
Barlow's demise in the remake is a less than stellar conclusion. A very anticlimactic ending. In a way though, I suppose it's appropriate to the quality of the film. What a shame.
Fame, money, women. Think you're the writer.
I love the doubling up of the peril with all the vampires simultaneously waking up and crawling towards Mark. Talk about raising the stakes. Oh geez, another pun. Anyway, a great ending to a classic horror film.
man, sucking tails from whom you meet, feeding on the lives of family and friends.
I know where you're going with this.
You are the vampire.
Stopping the action for a conversation is a surefire way to completely drain the tension and danger. Yeah, sure, I'll just talk my way out of being staked through the heart. That'll work.
Are you stupid or something?
Just plain stupid.
Are you stupid or something?
Not anymore, you son of
I don't think any commentary was needed there. That was all pretty self-evident. Suffice it to say, I was getting some serious Buffy baby horror made-for-TV vibes from the 2004 version. I'd like to give special mention to the music on the original Salem's Lot. The music is very strong and used to great effect in the film. The brilliant thumping and driving score really elevates the horror. Strings and horns blast out, and then at times it's eerie and dreamy, building that ominous state of tension and suspense. It's a bit Jaws in places, but it's always memorable and enhances the atmosphere of dread and puts you in that state of fear. Why they didn't make the decision to reuse it, I'll never know. The 2004 version doesn't even have a theme or a tune. It's just a mishmash of piano music, orchestral and arias. Super underwhelming. Just music played over the scenes. I think the very last thing I want to touch upon is this. So the novel was written and set in the 70s, and Tobe Hooper's film is 70s as well, so it's current to the time it was made. In the new version, it's also set in the present day, albeit of 2004, and it's an environment that's not really conducive to giving us a fear factor. What I mean is, generally the success of horror is hampered when it takes place in the context of technology, the internet and the modern ways of doing things. You know, the digital age. Unless it's like incorporated in the function of the concept of the horror, like an Unfriended or Countdown or, I don't know, Barbarian or Megan. It's not surprising a lot of modern horror films are set in the 80s and the 90s. It's just a lot more straightforward and simpler without having to account for things that are so ubiquitous nowadays, like mobile phone, GPS, CCTV, Uber, YouTube, social media. You get the drift. So when Strager is boasting of his online sales of his antiques, it's like, dude, no, just stop.
Well, the truth be told, we don't really need it. 95% of our business is done online.
You've just killed what little creepy and mysterious aura your character had. Anyway, I have it on good authority that this newest version of Salem's Lot is in fact set in the 70s. It's a big tick right there for me. Also, it follows the template of the other films in the James Wan universe of being built around atmosphere and suspense, slowly building horror sequences and hopefully effective jump scares. That's another big tick for me. So back to the original question. Is the 2004 version of Salem's Lot really as bad as I remember? No, it really isn't. There's such a good, strong story narrative in there, it's never not interesting. But the lack of actual atmosphere and frightening moments just lets it down. And because we've seen a lot of those same moments done so effectively and with such adeptness in Tobe Hooper's version, it's just disappointment after disappointment. The expanded stories and extra characters just feels like unnecessary filler. So much so, there's an annoying voiceover by Ben Mears having to narrate all the details they want you to know.
Looking at Jerusalem's Lot is like peering through a thin pane of ice at your childhood. It's wavy and misty, but most of it's the same.
The original feels like a movie, and the atmosphere and the vampires are genuinely scary. The 2004 version, it plays like a TV movie, padded out with human drama. Perhaps the biggest misstep is having Barlow changed from this monstrous, terrifying spectre you can't reason with to a well-dressed, almost professor-like character with spectacles, and you can stop and have a conversation with him. Even in vampire form, he's pretty much the same, but with fangs. And that's probably the biggest mystery for the new yet to be released version. Which way are they going to go? Be faithful to Stephen King's novel or follow Tobe Hopper? The right answer seems obvious, but looking at their casting choices, who's to say? I only mention it in passing, but I heard William Sadler's going to play Barlow. I don't know if that's true. But anyway, I don't want to end on a pessimistic note, so I'll mention a couple of things I thought were pretty neat in the 2004 version of Salem's Lot. This is going to take about 30 seconds. There's a cool camera shot when Floyd Tibbets and Mike Ryerson deliver the crate containing Barlow to the Marston house.
Straker?
I'm so easily pleased. And there's another scene towards the end where our plucky group, they make their way to the basement where the vampires are sleeping and they want to kill the master vampire, Barlow. But the vampires, they've booby-trapped the stairs, and the doctor, he falls through and falls on one of those circular blade saw things. The booby-trapping of the cellar is in the book as well, if I remember. They changed it in the Tobe Hopper version because the doctor meets his fate at the hands of Straker, impaling him on a bunch of horns sticking out the wall.
Ah!
But that's pretty much it for the good aspects. And I guess we've come to the end of the video. Feels like it's a pretty long one. I don't really do much reviewing on this channel, but when I do eventually see Gary Dauberman's Salem's Lot, when it finally does drop, I would like to review that film in the light of these other two versions, like maybe a part 2. But for now, thanks very much for watching. Let me know what you think of Salem's Lot, be it the novel or the films, and how interested you are for this new one. I'd love to know. But until we meet again, I shall bid you a fond farewell. Ciao.
Ciao?
Ciao? That's a familiar Italian expression meaning goodbye.
I didn't know you were Italian.
I'm not. The word is.
That's it, and that's all.